Please be advised, this podcast has adult content. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to Rig Hand Radio. Okay, we're back, and we'll start this episode off, or this part of the hour, with the Petroleum Industry Training School. Good or bad? Well, you decide. So it provides a function, and I believe it provides an important function and a useless function. So you got to take courses in Canada, and I agree with that. You got to take first aid. Good thing to have. Anybody. You don't even need to work on the rig for that. Every mother should have first aid. Whatever, baby's choking, or something happens.
Right, I agree.
How do you take a brachial pulse of a child, right?
Right.
So these things are important for everybody. And that's kind of a cool thing, because a lot of the things I learned on the rig, I equated in
real life.
Yeah. Like I was taking Carol, this Italian chick, to a movie. A guy gets in a car accident, and if I didn't have first aid, he wouldn't have lived. And all these kind of situations are great. So some of them are not good, like these well control schools. IWCF, European Well Control, is good. Well control from pits is useless. Decker had made a good point. Why can't you challenge every test? If you know it, why not challenge it? Why do you have to make it cost more money and sit there? So that kind of thing, it should be looked into. But then we had the training part of it, roughneck training. And
how many students a week would come in there?
You'd have about 24 to 26 max.
A week, right?
It was a 2-week course at one point in time.
Yeah.
And this was great.
You would do theory one day, right?
We do theory for a week.
Yeah.
And then we do hands-on for the next week. And you could really see.
So theory is in the classroom. You teach them in the classroom.
You got to tell them what is a rig, what's a derrick, what's this.
And that's inside the shop.
Yeah. And it was great, because we told them what it was like. And, there's a lot of things that happened.
They learned a lot in the classroom before they went out.
Well, they knew what things were called. Okay. And so then out of the classroom, there was a big shop area, and we had a set of tongs set up and a rotary table.
And a spinning chain.
Yeah, and a spinning chain. And we had some threads in the floor, and we had, I think, about 8 pipes sticking out of the floor. And you could go ahead and try your spinning chain there. So you had to be able to throw chain, and you had to be able to work with the tongs.
And you would split them up in groups, right?
Yeah. I know what some of you guys are thinking. You're thinking, that's archaic. We got top drives. We had some Russians come out there, and they were laughing at us. They said this. We were doing this in the 50s.
With top drives?
No, we didn't have top drives.
Yeah.
We didn't have, on the rig, we had automated
rotary table and the spinning chain.
Yeah, but we had an automated Norwegian drawworks. That means we had a joystick for the drawworks only, but everything else was automated. But these people come from Russia, because Pitts was known as the leading school for oil fields.
In all of North America, they were the only rig school.
That's right.
Back then.
You got Randy Smith, which is great, out of Houston, and you got courses all over the world. But this was the cutting edge. It's the only one
that was the place to go to.
Yeah, it's the only one that they actually inject gas into the ground, and you got to do well control by getting that gas out. So it's really good. Not, of course, like a video game.
It's real rig simulation.
Yeah. And you get a good feel for it. And we had some hands on there that were so nervous. They get in situations where it's their turn to spin the chain. We had this one guy, and he before you watch him, is 1, 2, and the sweat's just pouring out of him.
My turn.
And I seen this guy. It was so funny. He starts vibrating. He didn't know where to put his hands, and we never said anything. We were watching this, and he put himself on the ground, just freaking out like this. Just, he couldn't do it. And I said, look, there's some things you can't do in life. I'll never play the piano. These hands are for picking rocks and roots. And you can't work on the rig. But the worst part of it was, Pitts had a lot of holes in their system. We had this team of guys come out, and there was this one big guy from Saskatchewan, and he was pretty in your face.
Was he a student?
Yeah, he was a student, and he was in your face all the time about stuff. He could do anything. He's stronger than everybody else, and I just thought it was a Saskatchewan.
Not as strong as Kelly. Okay, go ahead.
Kelly, you're as big as a house. You're good. So this guy was from Saskatchewan, and if you've ever been to southern Saskatchewan, there's a little bit of an attitude. It's like Calgary Flames fans. But anyway, so this guy's doing the theory. It's good, and he's kind of in the back over there, you know. And he's doing his work. Everything's going good, and then it comes time for spin and chain. And, you know, everybody's spin and chain, and it's his turn. He's up there, and you don't watch everybody individually because there's like 8 stumps sticking out of the ground. Everybody's doing stuff, and you know, some guys are getting coffee.
There's different groups.
And Chuck's there, the firefighter.
Yeah, well, Chucky.
Yeah. I'd like to say Chuck was a directional driller.
He's a very sarcastic dude.
He's like that movie where that firefighter, that crazy one that lives on the corner.
What movie was that again? Backdraft?
I can't remember, but
okay.
Something similar.
I got you.
He's a very sullen guy. He doesn't talk much, and he's very strong. He was in the firefighter challenge. He went to Vegas. He was arm wrestling.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah, he pulled his bicep in Vegas, and he had to fly home with that. They didn't. It was really painful. Wrecked his arm wrestling career. Okay, so back to what we were saying. So Pitts is a great school. Everybody knows that, but it's got lots of holes in it. And that's good for life. Not everything is rosy, right?
No.
So
every day is a different day there.
We're doing this course for these people, these young guys, and different people come in all the time. Some people are nervous.
Even girls, even females.
Sometimes. Some people are nervous, and some people just got it. I remember you had to list 25 things about a fire extinguisher, how to check it. And this guy just blanked out, but he was smart. And you know what? One of the things, the last thing was, turn it upside down and shove it up your ass. I could have failed him for that, but you know what? I thought that was pretty good. He never got the marks for that, but he was good. He was the best.
A good comeback.
He was the best one in the class. Like he could do everything. And he was just rig wise, you know.
The physical stuff, he was good at that. Yeah.
There's some things that are pretty respectful. I was in Houston just a little while ago, and I wanted to get a brisket sandwich, and I walk in there, and the guy says, "We're closed." There's some worker, and I said, "Oh, it's 4:30." I said, "When do you close?" And he said, "Right now." I like that. But anyways, so we're spinning chain. It's chain spinning time, and they're throwing it.
My favorite.
And I hear something out of the corner, and it's just slap, slap, slap. And chain's going all over the ground. It's this big
nice technique.
This big Saskatchewan guy. I go over there and I'm looking at him, and something doesn't look right. So you got to wear some coveralls, right? And like this isn't Gucci.
Too tight,
they don't fit. Okay, we got some sizes. Super fat. Skinny and woman size.
No range of motion.
Yeah. So he's got his hard hat on, his Green Kings, and his boots. And the coveralls were really long on this guy. So I never noticed anything right away. And then Chuck's coming over. He's looking at me and he's giving me the eyes, right?
Something's wrong.
This Chuck guy doesn't say anything, but when push comes to shove, he's there.
Yeah.
So I'm watching this guy and I notice that he doesn't have a hand. He's one of these fluminimine babies. I wasn't
expecting that.
One of these fluminimine babies. And he can't throw the chain. And I says, "What's going on there?" So I grab this stump and I roll up the sleeve, and there it is.
No pun intended.
There it is. The fish prong. So I said, let's have
what the hell did he have for a hand?
These 2 little things on the end of his arm. You know how that was.
Well,
for some of you people that don't know, fuck FDA, they come out with this pill and it wasn't good for pregnant people. So they were taking it and they caused lots of birth defects. And the product was called fluminimine. It's not their fault. It doesn't mean
formaldehyde, right?
It doesn't mean they can't do things. But it's like the gay people and the transvestites, transsexuals. Some of them are in your face about it. Like you might just ask somebody, "What gender are you?" Don't misgender me. Like how do we know what they are? But back to this guy. So I said, "Let's take a break." I said, "Chuck, we got to go see the boss." I go there, and he wasn't really concerned. I said, "We got a fluminimine."
Doug.
Yeah, Doug.
Okay.
This scrub brush head guy.
Yeah.
I said, "We got to go. And don't you have a chart where the little man? And if you don't have this piece, you cross it off. Like what's your QAQC on this thing?" And he says, no, it can't be. Yeah. So here we
He
go.
slipped
The
through the
boss
cracks.
needs to see it himself. Doesn't trust anybody.
Okay.
So we go down there. Sure enough, there it is. And
was he willing to show, or is he
this
kind
is
of just
one of
looking?
the worst things about pits. Did you know they never failed anybody? I was the first one to fail somebody. The kid that couldn't lift the gel.
Yeah, I do know
lift
that.
the gel bag. Part of the requirement was you had to lift a gel bag and you had to walk up the tank stairs with it. We showed him how to lift things.
Yeah, that's a requirement.
And put it away.
That's a requirement.
He couldn't even lift it. He couldn't lift it. Maybe he could in time. I told him to go to the gym for a little while, maybe get some steroids.
Give him some good advice. You know, get some D-ball and, you know.
Methyl testosterone. But he just couldn't lift it. He couldn't physically lift it. And I thought to myself,
there are people out there. I've seen it. I've seen it. Yeah.
And it wasn't for lack of trying. This guy tried, and it was painful.
Some people
one of those guys that had all the go in the world, but just not the skills. Yeah. And he tried so hard, but he just couldn't do it. And my point was, you're going to get hurt out there if he just tries
hurt somebody else.
Yeah. And this guy couldn't spin chain. And I said we shouldn't have him in the course, but we did keep him in the course because what was more important to Pitts was not to get into any legal problem.
Because that's going to leak out. That's going to leak out.
That kid that couldn't lift the gel bag, I talked to his mother because she's one of those Karens, right? Wow. But I could talk to her.
They were back then too, yeah.
I was pretty good gift to the gab. And I said, listen, do you want him to go out there and get hurt? Because right now that you know that, that's your responsibility. You can't blame it on me anymore.
You were good at talking to people. Trouble could you get? You always had good communication skills to that.
Yeah. Well, except with my wife, I couldn't do it.
Well, that's an exception.
Yeah, it happens.
But so what happened to this guy? So did he end up? So what did Doug do? What was his decision?
We kept him there. He didn't have.
Did you get him? Teach him how to spin chain?
It's like that guy.
I want to know if he's spinning chain.
Well, again, all these things are
because it's be easy. Get creative with those prongs, man. Fuck, it's good at fucking holding dope and joints.
I don't think it's good when you got to change your curriculum for somebody. I don't think it's good when you got to change your uniform for the RCMP for somebody that doesn't want to wear the hat.
The turban thing.
I didn't say it. You did.
Oh, I did.
The rug head.
I own that, by the way, folks.
Yeah. What happens when what happens when they took that one off that one guy? 2.5 kilograms of bugs in there. But anyway.
Well, he hadn't washed his hair in about 10 years ago.
I thought he was saving it for food for later.
Nobody knew it was that long either.
Yeah. So I don't think it's good when you got to change something for a special needs person.
No.
You can make it work. You don't have to fire him, but he can't do what's required. And somebody other than me built this course and said, these are the things.
Yeah.
Okay. And
those are the requirements.
So that was my point. And right after that.
Don't you think a guy with like a stump like this, they build like a little dope brush attachment?
Well, there's always going to be responsible. There's always going to be a part to play. There's a part to play for everybody.
Your favorite movies are, you watch Dr. No a lot, right? 007?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
So anyways, my point, and that's when my career there went down. Not because they would let it
that was
down.
At the end, eh?
No, I didn't like that. I've had many job offers in Saudi Arabia. And for most of you out there that know, you get a job offer for Saudi Arabia. If you work 10 years now, they give you $2.5 million at the end as a bonus. It's great.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I get why you left Pitts. I was mad when you left.
Yeah.
I hated it because then I had to fucking go not long after that.
Well, my thing is I don't want to hurt anybody. So I was really plugged into that. And that was a good byproduct. Sure, we were doing steroids, drinking all the time.
We were having a good time.
Getting high and working on the rigs, doing hard work, making big money. But I didn't like to see people getting hurt because everybody's got families and, man, yeah, I didn't like it. And we're there to help people and we're changing shit. So I slowly started bucking the system. That guy passed with flying colors. And
and pretty much everybody passed there. Yeah, that is right.
I didn't like it much, but I do have to still say that Pitts is great. And remember we were talking about the Russians coming over and they were laughing at our archaic equipment. I went up to them and I said, you guys don't have a clue what's going on. Yeah, sure, you got all this fancy equipment. But you know what? The minute that breaks down and you have to use the old tools, you're hurting people.
You've got nothing.
We're teaching people where to put their fingers and chain spinning with torque, and nobody's getting hurt. Don't you see the bigger picture here?
Doing things
they wanted to talk to me more, and I said, you guys, you ain't got the stones in there. You're dealing with sand. So remember that. When you think something, really, really analyze it because there's a bigger picture. And I do like Pitts because they're one of the only companies that said, you know what, we're not getting to the the indigenous people. There's a bunch of them up in Fort St. John. So they hired a rig, Ensign rig, and just a tool push went up there in the middle of winter, and we put it on the Northern Lights College. And they asked me to go teach, and I was right in there.
What year was this?
I can't write.
2000 something.
6, I think. Judy Moss was the chief, the very first chief in Canada, woman chief.
Oh.
Her son was on the course, and her boyfriend at the time. Now, I got to mention, this chick held a position of power, and she was good
in the
looking,
tribe.
but people respected her, and they really respected her. And we did the courses. We come out of there with a lot of fun. So there's good points and bad points to everything. That Flamitamine guy, I don't know what he's doing today. Maybe he's that guy that's flipping around that PTO and that TikTok video.
Or maybe he's in the ground.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, well, a lot of good stories coming out of that. So, there's lots of grim stories. They catch the guy's ears. Unfortunately, some of these things are true, and you can get the content on it. If there's something you'd like to further on these things, ask us, and we'll get to it, because we want to make sure you're getting the full picture, right?
We never did see anybody get hurt on for pits, really. Eh?
Well,
a couple of banged
Stuart
fingers.
Lancaster.
No, I'm talking at the rig school.
Oh, no, nobody
banged fingers. No. Maybe a couple of banged fingers.
Nobody got hurt.
Nothing. Yeah.
I don't fight the system, but I can't shut up when someone's wrong, and it's not my job to inform them. But it is our jobs. As older, if you think like
you got to correct it.
As older, like my sons will say, "Why are you talking to tell us like that?" They don't care. You're phoning the Philippines. But if nobody does that, nothing will ever change.
That's right.
I've had cell phones since TELUS
like
had
you that way.
Cell phone, yeah. And so it's painful.
Yeah.
Exploring that,
but you got to do it.
They fired me, but then Star Trace comes out. So it's important to speak up if it's and these safety things. TikTok and Instagram, they're full of all these videos. I've noticed a real rash of accidents, right? And I get sucked in. I'm watching a lot of death videos now. I don't know why they're interesting, but these rig videos are the same thing. But we should use our experience and tell them, this is why you're doing that, and it happens, and then you're done.
So it's okay to ask a question out there. No question's a stupid question, because you remember that old saying?
Yeah. The only stupid one's the one that wasn't asked.
But then they would change their mind and be the opposite about it sometimes. But we're saying that if you don't know, you've got to ask. Otherwise, it's going to lead to a dangerous situation.
I'll say something. You say that out there, but the guys who are the ones who need to ask those questions get treated like fucking.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. That's my point.
So it pushes them back to not asking those questions. And
they're too scared. Too scared to ask.
Changing the culture. That needs to happen. There aren't any stupid fucking questions. Because
accidents come out of that. You know that there's dangerous situations coming out of that nobody said something, right?
If you don't,
and you didn't ask that question,
you need to ask.
Yeah, that's right.
There's nothing worse than working with a guy who pretends to know what he's doing.
And then he doesn't know fuck all.
He doesn't know what he's fucking doing.
Yeah, and that guy gets set up. That guy gets set up.
Those are the guys that get set up sometimes.
They get set up and then they fuck everything up, and it's the worst night.
Look up the Peter principle, you guys. You'll understand that. People get set up without they're good workers, hard workers in their job. But then somebody recognizes that and thinking, that guy's a go-getter, we'll set him up. Then he's unqualified for that job. And the person that takes his is unqualified. That's not to say
sometimes people see something in that person that they thought was good, but they're wrong.
Well, they were good at that
Other
job.
People, it's suckholing and brown-nosing. Brown-nosing and suckholing is still out there too, right?
But we're getting to the end of this segment. We got a lot of good stuff to come in. And I'm going to hand over the mic to Kelly. Tell us a few stories, maybe the most fucked up thing that happened to you. I know all your stories.
Well, we can talk about driving home from the rig. Has the rules changed about that, about driving home? Do the companies tell them that they have to rest now before they're after
they
they're
do
done
it completely different.
It's not like it used to be.
So the way it used to be was we'd go to work and we'd work daylights, and then we'd switch over. We shortchange to nights. Yeah. And you work all night, and then they say, have good days off, and you're tired. It's winter. You got the heat turned up. What happens there?
You got off on nights.
We got off on nights. They switched it. What do you guys do on your last day?
Days.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, it was nights and then home.
And what do we do on the last day? Nothing.
Yeah.
And who wants to? So this story starts with a long time ago when I was.
Yeah, before you start the story, I gotta say Kelly is not feel safe with anybody driving. He's a control freak.
It takes a
Except
lot.
me.
Takes a lot.
If I'm driving, it's a half a block. He's snoring, not sleeping.
It started with one time I'm not going to talk about that story quite yet, but it started with me being a passenger after graveyards, long time ago in the early 80s. And we were coming from High Prairie.
In a Dodge
and
Magnum.
we worked 16 fucking hours in the summertime. And who the fuck wants to stay in camp? Have breakfast and just go home. I was ready to go, but 10 minutes into the drive, I'm getting fucking tired. My eyelids are getting heavy. And the road is starting to disappear.
Winter.
Yeah. And it was summer this time because we were working 16s. But I looked over at my buddy, and I don't like Darren said, I don't like being a passenger, especially after fucking working that long and driving home the fucking 4 hours to Westlock or wherever you live. And so I looked over at him, and he looked pretty good. He said, "Oh, fuck, I can drive. No problem. No problem, Kelly." This was the motorman. I was roughnecking at this time. And so I was driving my Dodge Magnum, 79 Dodge Magnum, souped up muscle car. Fucking 50s on the back, fucking center lines, fucking nice car. Moon roof, fucking corduroy seats. You know the deal, Darren. So I look over at this guy, and he's ready to rock. I'm ready to fucking pass out. I can barely keep my fucking eyelids. I was thinking about Flintstone with the fucking toothpicks in the eyelids there. Remember that episode? Anyways, we pull over, switch fucking seats. He starts driving. She's going good. Don't have to throw on the heat because it's fucking nice summertime. Get down the highway. The fucking tires are humming away. And then I fucking doze off. And then all of a sudden, 2 minutes later, I feel a rough ride coming on. I open up my eyes, through a barbed wire fence into a field, 3 donuts, and back up on the highway. And he woke up. And we both woke up.
So,
and then
picture that.
Miraculously, we're fucking ended up on the right side of the road, facing the right way, but we're at a dead stop. And I was wondering if there's any goddamn damage from the barbed wire fence. But there wasn't, thank God. And then do you think my eyeballs were open all the way to fucking home after that and giving that guy shit?
And I get the visual picture all the time. This guy's got a fear of anybody driving, but he's just too tired to carry on. And so he finally dozes off, and he just checks on the guy, and the guy's head's to the side on the window, complete sleeping. And there, you can't do nothing. I can't.
That scared me to driving myself
to
this day. I don't trust nobody, not even my mother. Well, my mother's the worst driver, but anybody. Okay, there's an exception. He's sitting across from me.
The Dodge Magnum was a favorite rig truck or car.
Yeah.
And it was big and wide.
Yeah.
It was hard to go roll it or anything.
Yeah.
And that driller,
it took a lot of abuse.
That driller I had, Dave Nelson, he got married in his, and he was driving.
Yeah, he had one. Yeah. Yeah.
We were at a bush party in Dawson Creek, Rolla. We were rig watching. Things got out of hand.
Rig watching. Those are fun times.
I launched that thing off a T intersection on the highway, and I took the tops of these trees off, and then we got it towed back to the rig, and we were rig watching. So when Hodge gets there, he sees the Dodge Magnum.
It's like this.
Oh my God.
That guy was like a mad dad looking at you, coming down hard on you.
Yeah. But you know, that was
he was like a father to you kind of back then.
This Hodge guy, he was a really special guy. You talk about the underdog. He always went for the underdog. And it didn't matter how you knew him or how long or how good of a worker you were. If you were mistreating somebody and he was like a younger guy or not, we learned not to do that. No, he would stick up for this guy.
He had his back. Yeah.
He stuck up for Nelson a lot of years until he finally figured that worm out.
They were fairly close. He was his favorite driller. Nelson was Dennis's favorite driller at one time.
Yeah.
And then you guys all got along good. That was in the early days when you were a derrickman. I think you were a motor hand then too.
Dave Nelson shot a guy on the rig. They had the best safety program and work incentive. 4 months, you got coffee mugs with the stamp Arrowhead sign on it.
Yeah.
And what else did you get? You got a hat. You got a hard hat with your name on it.
Those anymore.
One of the awards was a shotgun.
Yeah.
And we're drinking, and Nelson shoots a guy.
That doesn't happen no more.
No. They were great incentives. You got a fishing rod.
It was a nice shotgun.
Barbecue. It was Ithaca.
It was quality stuff that they gave you back then.
And
the safety awards.
The end I still got my 500-day safety watch.
Oh, you had, I think I borrowed your jacket a few more times too.
You got a leather
Your
jacket.
Arrowhead
It was beautiful.
You still have it, don't you?
No.
And the leather one with the tan sleeves and black.
Don't have it anymore.
You don't have that no more?
Yeah.
Remember those other jackets, those black ones with the gold? I was so happy when
Bombers jackets, they had a great program. And I wish they would do something like that to this day, because they were for safety.
Incentive.
And you see a guy on the rig with the leather jacket, and you want the gold watch, and they had them all,
I can remember wanting that stuff, and then I would want to work more and more and more, and I would even get on another rig to add to my safety days. And then I started getting some good safety days, and the first one was the hard hat. Remember those old Arrowhead hard hats?
Yeah.
And
I got Dennis's hard hat in my container.
You still have?
He gave it to me.
You still have an Arrowhead hard hat?
Yeah, I do.
Do you still have stickers?
I still got stickers.
Oh, you got to take a picture of that and send me that. But what was some of the nicer stuff they had? They had a shotgun. They had a mini TV. Yeah, remember?
I had that. The TV,
the radio and the mini TV.
The radio and the TV. Yeah,
and you had it in your room.
I had everything.
Even though you have only 2 channels you can watch, or 1.
It doesn't matter.
But you'd still take it out there. It was pretty cool.
It looked cool.
Fuck, it was cool. Yeah, I was jealous of you because you started before me and you had way more fucking safety awards.
So there's 3 different sizes of rigs. The small rigs were the 370.
Yeah, I was on the small one.
And then the middle sized ones. Middle sized ones were the 610s, and the numbers I'm mentioning were the drawwork size. They were all triples.
80B.
And then the 80B was the big ones they had.
That's the one you were on.
And I was lucky to be on an 80B and they were on holes for longer.
They had 3
Hinton for 6 months.
They had 2 80Bs or 3? 2 for sure.
They had 3 of everything.
Rig 11, Rig 10, and Rig...
I forget.
Rig 9. Rig 9 was an 80B also.
Which was the rig that we sent to the United States? And it came back, there was
a 370.
Horse shit in the manifold.
It was Rig 2, 370, that I worked on the sister rig to it. Yeah.
We had some colorful tool pushes. Miles long.
Everybody.
We're going to do a whole thing on Dave Smelsey.
I wonder if Bill Hancock's still alive.
I don't know.
Oh, no, I can't.
Hey, what was that Indian's name from Rocky? He was a cool guy, good guy.
A tool push?
He had 2 sons.
Was he a tool push?
Yeah.
Or a driller?
Ed Klisnik.
Oh, he was an awesome guy.
Fast Eddie.
He was the funniest guy. Big dude.
Yeah.
I remember he hung some guy upside down by his ankles over the doghouse. Who was that?
I don't know.
Shaking his money out of his pockets.
Yeah.
That guy was a strong dude.
He was massive. And he had 2 sons.
I worked with his son. Dustin. One of them.
Did one of them die?
I drove with him.
Did one of them die? He
Not sure.
hit a tree with his motorcycle.
Maybe. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. One of his siblings, his son's sibling died. Yeah. That was a long time ago.
And then they had Ed Hendelbecker.
Oh, God. He liked me. Ed Hendelbecker. How about the time I burnt those clothes? He was the tool push.
Let me tell you that story. It's one of my favorites. So
I was in love with the campy. Her name was Arlene. Her name was Arlene.
So
I was a rookie.
Kelly's a roughneck. His job to go get the grub box. So he's going back and forth to camp.
Yeah.
Was she second cook?
She was the second cook. Very pretty.
Yeah. So you had was she as nice as Helen Hoffer, the ex-husband?
She was. I don't know. Not as nice as but close.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So,
I came in to get the grub box.
Yeah, Kelly's going back and forth to get the grub box, and it's common for they wash clothes in camp, and the engineer
that day,
the company man, and the tool push
were all sitting in the kitchen.
They usually put their clothes in a bag and they give it to Kelly, and he'll take it up there, and the cooks will wash it, and then he'll take it back at dinner time. Well, Kelly's so flustered with the girl.
I had her on my mind.
Yeah, she gives him a bag of garbage and goes to take it to the incinerator. But Kelly misunderstood.
Well, I took the grub box on that bag.
He burnt all the engineer's clothes.
Because I thought it was the garbage.
Yeah.
I thought it was the garbage. And then when I come back, they weren't even mad. Fucking Bill Hancock was there too. They're laughing. And he said, he's thinking about that second cook. And she was right there too, eh? Or she used to come.
You were one of the weird guys.
She used to come and wake me up, kissing me and everything. Fuck, I was in love with her for a couple of days.
Yeah, but if you think about it, you're kind of a strange.
I fall in love easy. I know.
You're kind of a strange customer. So Kelly grew up on a farm.
I own it.
Kelly grew up on a farm in Busby, and
what a town, eh? Busby. Fuck.
Their family wasn't well off by no means. They were hard workers.
Yep.
And Kelly's
I liked food, but
Kelly's a big eater. my parents are Ukrainian, and
Yeah.
my dad would get Kelly because he was strong
When I was 15,
to help. And my mom didn't know to do anything
out to the pinch up farm.
feed us all the time. So you'd get like cabbage rolls and everything for lunch.
Fuck.
And then an hour later, you get a giant plate of sandwiches. Kelly ate so much. It was the only time I ever seen my mother say, Kelly, you got to stop eating.
They used to tell me that when I was young. Ask my mom.
But to relate that to the rig, Kelly gets the rig box, and he loved blueberry pies.
Oh, no.
The rig box would come, and I'd say, did they forget the dessert? Kelly was taking the blueberry pies out, hiding them in the bush. And on the way back, he's having a real feed.
No, but I got caught this one time.
He had blueberries on your shirt.
That was when Urban Wonky was my driller, that big fucking powerhouse.
Yeah.
And he would sometimes I would bring the rig box there, and it would be really good food, eh? And what it would come out of his mouth, she wants to get fucked. She wants to get fucked.
Oh.
But one day, it was a lemon meringue pie. That's my favorite. I fucking had the rig box up, and it's a little ways to go to the rig from camp, and I got the rig box. It's smelling good. The pie's in there. I couldn't believe it, fucking, because I come from a poor family, man. Fuck with all this fucking food. And so I'm coming up to the rig. I fucking ate most of the pie. I don't know what I did with the rest of it. I think I threw it out in the bush because I can't eat the whole pie. I got to eat some food too. I ate most of the pie.
I've seen you eat pies before.
I ate most of the pie, and then when I got into the doghouse, well, I forgot to wipe my face. I had crumbs all over my fucking face. He wondered where the pie went. Well, he knew exactly. I was caught red-handed.
that spawns a whole different things. The boys always got girlfriends, right? And the girls love the boys because they can cook and they do their own laundry and they clean. It's important for people to know back in those days, we did our own laundry. And when you're on graveyards, there's nobody making food. You send the roughneck up and he's got to bring food.
I used to hate that. Fucking do my laundry.
So you learn how to turn the deep fryer on. Yeah. I wasn't very good at the start. I'd just bring a gallon of ice cream and some French fries.
I didn't know how to run that fucking grill.
But you learned how to do it. You learned how to do it.
But at first they were getting just soup and sandwiches, and they hated me.
Yeah.
Until I had to finally get creative, and then I was getting really good at it, bringing really good lunches. But guess what I did while the fucking lunches were cooked?
Eat a pie?
No, I would go into the camp room and watch porn.
Oh. Yeah, that gets away on you.
Because back then it was the old porn, right? And stuff.
That would be good to have on the site is a rig menu. Because I've seen Josh make some things that I'm not responsible for that. He's way a cut above me. And even Jared is.
Well, you were a good cook. You got to hand it to you.
I was only bringing French fries and a gallon of ice cream until they threw it all in the garbage and I had to go and make food.
But after you got really good at cooking. And
you were just banging the cook and she was cooking at night for you. She felt sorry for you.
Oh, man.
When I go out to the rig, I always bring like 2 fucking racks of ribs, little pork shoulder, everything that you can cook out there. And then you just...
Well, we would bring a liter of Coke and a hunk of bologna. And mustard.
I did that.
And mustard.
Oh, yeah, man.
And we did that until one of the...
Fucking dry bread and fucking bologna in it. Like,
we'll do pork belly out there.
Well, one of the safety incentives was the buck knife. You remember that? And the big thing was you could put it on a bolt and tap it and take it right through the bolt. And
we did that.
I stuck my buck knife in the bologna and I ran up for a connection. And I left it there for a few hours. I pulled it out, stainless steel, and that thing was green. That it tainted the stainless steel.
Oh,
I threw that bologna out. That was at Cow Lake.
Let's talk about the hands that, you have a couple that are always willing to do something for the crew. They're always willing to give back. But then there's always one hand that's just the cheapskate. He's always taking it in. He's not ever.
That's the guy that's getting in trouble.
That's the
we had one of those. I can't remember his name. It was Bob something from Cow Lake. He was the Sump Suckers kid, fat and just
useless,
lazy. And he didn't want to work, but we had to have this guy on there. And Garth Ludwer was the Derek hand, a little wop Italian guy, and he was a bartender in Cranbrook. He lived there. Or not Cranbrook, Creston, BC. He ended his career working at the Kokanee factory. Nice guy. And he was good with the ladies too. A long curly hair, Derek, and big cookie duster mustache. And he, nice guy.
Yeah.
Well, he had a problem with his penis. He had some kind of wart on there. And they got some pills and he was pissing a lot. And he pissed in that Bobby's pop and he made that guy pay. we never talked to this guy. So if you
I heard of it. I remember
yeah,
this.
so if you talk to him, he was really attentive. So Garth goes there when he's eating, and he was eating something that was really dry. And Garth, just when he was
or something,
when he was ready to take a drink, he was really thirsty. Garth would start talking to him again. So this guy was really thirsty, and he sucked.
Josh, I'm getting buzzing in my thing.
He sucked back that whole liter of pop, that fat kid. And Garth looked at me and he said, I pissed in that one.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. You telling me that. That's a long time ago. That was a useless hand that was out there.
He quit.
Yeah, there's been some guys that
It was like the army. It was better if they quit than you fired them. Because you get a bad reputation.
Remember when I quit on fucking Ken Greer?
Yeah.
I had to. Like, the guy was just fucking...
I liked Ken.
So did I. But the steroids got to him. And we were arguing in the fucking light plant. Like,
did you ever see him with the wash gun hose?
Yeah,
So you get a 50-foot wash gun hose.
He snaps at a moment's notice, that guy.
If it gets caught on anything, he goes ballistic.
He'll pull on it until it comes apart and it's caught. And then somebody just walked along and went like this.
Oh,
wasn't it the tool push? He's yanking on it and fucking for 10 minutes trying to rip it apart, and he's just a massive man.
You know who he reminded me of?
Steroid freak.
He reminded me of that song.
And he had a temper,
Big
man.
Bad John. He
was the nicest, quietest guy, right? He was
Yeah.
the nicest, quietest guy. But fuck, when he snapped quietly. He would snap and then fucking.
And then it was like the personality of mine, just like that.
Oh yeah, just fucking.
And this guy was a killer, man.
We're at the top of the hour. Always remember and never forget. Keep that pipe moving. Up or down, round and round, and you'll never get stuck. And that wraps up another edition of Rig Hand Radio.